So imagine you have a bicycle.
Okay, a bicycle.
Yeah, but the tires are completely flat. And I mean, the chain is just rusted shut.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and the frame is barely hanging together. Like, it's held by a couple of stripped bolts.
Right, so it's a total death trap.
Exactly, it's a death trap. But you want to go faster.
Naturally.
Right, you feel like you actually need to go faster because your competitors are, well, they're passing you.
Sure.
So instead of, patching the tires or maybe replacing the chain, your solution is to strap a military-grade jet engine to the back of this broken bicycle and just ignite it.
Yeah, well, the frame simply wasn't built for that kind of propulsion.
No, not at all.
It's not going to make you win the race. I mean, the chassis will literally vibrate apart under the torque before you even cross the starting line.
Exactly. The wheels fly off and you just crash into a brick wall at Mach 3.
Yeah.
And yet, this is exactly the mechanism, like the exact thing at play when thousands of business owners and entrepreneurs and leaders try to grow their companies every single day.
It happens all the time.
It does. And that is the core warning we are pulling from today's stack of notes. So, welcome to a special Friday Fire edition of our deep dive.
Yeah, excited for this one.
Me too. Today, we are speaking directly to the leaders out there who are navigating growth. And our goal today is to equip you with a framework to really stop you from making the fatal business error of scaling chaos.
Yeah, and the source material we are pulling from today, it really strips away the illusion of what business growth is sort of supposed to look like.
Right.
These are notes from a recent mega agent camp.
Which is huge.
Oh, it's massive. It's a massive gathering of high-performing real estate professionals, and it features Gary Keller, the founder of Keller Williams.
Right. We are talking about the largest real estate franchise in the world by agent count here.
Exactly. And when you reach that level of global expansion, I mean, you have made every single scaling mistake in the book.
Oh, for sure.
And you've had to solve them to survive. So the insights here are really battle-tested.
Yeah. And the primary takeaway, the thesis that apparently just silenced a room of thousands of top-tier producers, is this. You cannot scale what you have not first optimized.
Right.
Scale a mess, and you multiply the mess.
So true.
So, okay, let's unpack this. Because to actually apply that advice, we really have to separate two concepts that the business world uses almost completely interchangeably.
Yeah, optimization and scaling.
Exactly. People talk about them like they are the exact same motion.
And conflating the two is the exact moment the jet engine gets strapped to the broken bicycle.
Yes.
They are entirely different mechanical processes. And, more importantly, they have to be sequential.
Right. One comes before the other.
Exactly. So optimization is the internal focus. It is getting more yield from what you already have.
Okay.
It's looking really closely at your current unit economics, your current systems, and just removing whatever is creating operational drag.
So cleaning house, basically.
Basically.
But then scaling, on the other hand, that's external. It's about expanding the impact of that optimized unit into something that runs entirely independently of your personal time and your effort.
That's the key.
Right. So optimization makes the single engine hum perfectly, but scaling is taking the blueprints of that perfect engine and building a factory that produces 1,000 of them a day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you duplicate an engine that is misfiring and throwing sparks and leaking oil at the unit level,
You're in trouble.
yeah, you haven't built a better business. You just bought yourself a much larger fire.
Right.
You multiply the dysfunction.
And the fascinating thing about how these notes frame optimization is that it completely runs counter to the default human instinct.
It really does.
Because when a founder feels their business getting messy, the instinct is to just add more.
Oh, always.
Right. Work more hours, throw more software at the problem.
Hire another body.
Exactly. Hire more people. But real optimization isn't about working harder, and it's emphatically not about adding more.
No, it is an act of ruthless subtraction.
Ruthless subtraction. I like that.
True optimization is about doing less of the wrong things so that the right things finally have the oxygen they need to function.
Right.
It is identifying the bottlenecks and just cutting them out entirely.
So think about a desk covered in like 300 sticky notes.
Oh, Josh. We've all been there.
Right. If you want to optimize your workflow, your solution isn't to buy a premium brand of sticky notes or, hire an assistant to organize the sticky notes by color.
Right. That's just managing the mess.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Optimization is throwing away the 290 notes that don't actually drive revenue so you can clearly see the 10 that do.
Yeah.
It is subtraction, which naturally brings us to the mechanics of how a sustainable business is actually built rather than just kind of hacked together.
Right.
The notes detail a very rigid 5-step path to building a system that can handle growth without vibrating apart like that bicycle.
And the sequence here is the entire point. You cannot skip a step without introducing structural weakness.
Okay, so what are they?
So the 5 steps are promise, pro forma, perform, proof, and repeat.
Okay, the first one, promise. That feels a bit philosophical for a hard-hitting business framework.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, like how does that translate to daily operations?
Well, the promise is the core value proposition. It's the foundational contract you are making with your market.
Okay.
You are promising that if they give you their money, you will deliver a specific, consistent result.
Right.
And everything else is built on top of whether or not the market actually wants that promise.
If nobody wants it, the rest doesn't matter.
Exactly.
Which leads right into the math. Step 2, the pro forma.
Yeah, the financial model. This is where you test the promise on a spreadsheet.
Right, in a safe environment.
Exactly. You are calculating, if I deliver this promise to the market, how much does it cost me to acquire the customer?
Right.
What does it actually cost to deliver the service? And is there enough margin left over to make this an actual business?
Right. But a pro forma is just a hypothesis, right?
Okay.
It's perfect conditions in a vacuum.
Absolutely. It's best case scenario.
Yeah. So the real friction happens at step 3, which is perform.
Right.
This is the execution phase. This is the daily grind where you are actually out in the market, honoring the promise, and finding out exactly how wrong your spreadsheet was.
Yeah, because it's always wrong.
Always. And this is where optimization actually lives, right?
That is exactly where it lives. The perform stage is where you discover that, your customer acquisition cost is actually double what you projected.
Right.
Or your delivery process takes 3 times as long as you thought.
Yeah.
So optimization is that brutal, unglamorous work of tweaking the model in real time, cutting the waste, and just refining the system until reality starts to match the spreadsheet.
And then we hit step 4, which I know is going to cause some friction for the audience.
Oh, yeah.
Step 4 is proof. You have to prove the performance is consistently matching the pro forma before you are allowed to move to step 5, which is repeat.
Yes.
And repeat is where scaling lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You prove it works at one level, and only then do you expand it.
Here's where it gets really interesting, because I can feel the high-energy, visionary founders out there bristling at that word, proof.
Oh, for sure. They hate it.
Yeah. For a certain type of entrepreneur, waiting around to perfectly prove a model, it just feels like corporate bureaucracy.
It feels like standing still.
Right. Like, if I have a new product line that is getting traction, and I wait 6 months to perfectly optimize the unit economics down to the penny, my competitor is going to swoop in and take my market share.
That's the fear.
Right. So doesn't demanding proof run the risk of killing forward momentum?
Well, that urgency is incredibly common.
Yeah.
And it is the exact psychology that causes businesses to implode.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because demanding proof isn't about moving slowly or getting bogged down in pennies. It is about establishing structural integrity.
Structural integrity, right.
If you skip the proof stage and jump straight from a messy perform stage to repeat, you are permanently baking chaos into your business model.
You're locking it in.
You're taking a hypothesis that is currently bleeding cash or burning out your team, and you are just multiplying it.
So what does that skip step actually look like in practice?
Yeah.
Give me a scenario where a founder skips proof and jumps straight to repeat.
Okay, well, it happens every day in sales.
Okay.
A founder closes a few deals themselves. They feel some momentum.
Right, they get excited.
Yeah, but they haven't actually documented their sales process.
Oh.
They don't have a proven script. They don't know their exact conversion rate, and they definitely don't have an onboarding manual.
Right.
But they want to grow fast, so they just hire 5 salespeople.
And the founder thinks, great, I just 5x'd my sales capacity.
Exactly. But they didn't. They just 5x'd their management headache.
Oh, man.
Because those 5 new reps have no proven system to follow, so they all just start making up their own pitches.
Right, they're just winging it.
They're winging it. Yeah. They burn through the lead database, the close rate plummets, customer acquisition costs skyrocket, and the founder is suddenly working 80 hours a week just trying to put out the fires caused by their own sales team.
Because they scaled before they had proof the system worked without them.
Yeah.
They scaled a mess and they multiplied the dysfunction.
Yep.
You know, that raises a deeper question about the founder's mindset.
Okay.
Like, why do intelligent, capable leaders feel this desperate almost primal urge to scale prematurely.
That's a great question.
If we know it causes chaos, why jump the gun? And the notes point to a physical limitation that every single leader eventually hits.
Yes. The hard mathematical limit of optimization.
Right.
The 168-hour
The
week
calendar is undeceded.
is the ultimate ceiling. I mean, if you are a solo operator or a founder who is heavily involved in the day-to-day operations, you can optimize your personal output relentlessly.
Sure, you can do a lot.
You can wake up at 4 a.m.,
Yeah.
you can color code your calendar, hire an executive assistant, and leverage every productivity hack on the internet.
The cold plunges, the whole routine.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But eventually, you max out the physical capacity of what one human being can produce.
You just run out of hours.
Yes. Once you hit that wall, personal optimization stops working entirely.
You literally run out of time. And I imagine the panic sets in because you want to keep growing, but you have no more hours to give.
Which is the exact moment scaling goes from being a luxury to an absolute necessity.
Okay, that makes sense.
Because scaling is the mechanism that removes the constraint of personal time. It disconnects your revenue from your direct labor.
Right.
But the caveat that ruins so many businesses is that you still cannot scale your way out of a broken model. You have to fix the model before you hit the ceiling.
And this tees up the anecdote from the source material that I found just the most revealing.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It pulls the curtain back on how founders lied to themselves when they hit that 168-hour ceiling.
Oh, completely.
So at this mega agent camp, an attendee stands up and asks Gary Keller a question about expanding their business into a second geographic market.
Right. And on the surface, it sounds like the hallmark of a thriving business.
Yeah.
Just a driven entrepreneur looking to conquer new territory.
Exactly. But the breakdown in the notes reveals what was actually happening under the hood.
And it wasn't pretty.
No.
Mm.
The attendees' first market, like their primary original operation, was nowhere near optimized.
Right.
Their CRM database was a mess and wasn't being systematically worked.
Classic.
Yeah. Their lead conversion rates were average at best. Their current staff actually had excess capacity because the workflow was so disjointed.
Wow.
Yeah. They had millions of dollars in untapped potential sitting right in front of them in their first market.
But they wanted a second one.
Right. So if the first market had all this room for growth without adding new overhead, why look at a second city?
Well, it was an escape hatch dressed up as ambition.
An escape hatch from what?
From the deep, unglamorous, tedious work of actual optimization.
Oh, right.
Think about what it takes to fix that first market.
It's hard work.
It's awful. Scrubbing thousands of contacts in a messy database, having difficult conversations with underperforming staff,
Yeah.
tracking conversion metrics daily, tweaking a script just to bump a close rate by 2%.
That's a grind.
That work is a grind. It requires immense discipline, and it does not give you a quick hit of dopamine.
No, but flying to a new city.
Oh, flying to a new city is thrilling.
Yeah, it is.
Looking at commercial real estate, designing a new logo, telling all your peers you're expanding.
the ego boost.
Exactly. That is fun. It feels like massive forward motion.
Right.
So when that attendee asked about opening a second market, they're subconsciously trying to run away from the boring, difficult work of fixing their broken systems.
Oh.
And they were masking that retreat as growth.
That is a staggering realization for any leader listening right now because we all do this.
We do.
Starting the new shiny project is always infinitely more appealing than fixing the boring broken one.
Oh, every time.
Like we rebrand the website instead of fixing the broken checkout process.
Exactly.
But in business, treating expansion as an escape hatch is lethal.
It really is. Which brings us to the most actionable part of these notes, which is the diagnostic audit.
Okay, let's get into this.
It's a framework broken down into 3 distinct levels of business size.
Okay.
And it's designed to help leaders look under the hood of their own operations and spot these hidden inefficiencies before they attempt to scale them.
All right, let's start with level 1, the solo operator.
Okay.
So this is the entrepreneur who is currently wearing every single hat in the business. What is their blind spot?
Well, the blind spot for a solo operator is usually a lack of operational consistency that's just kind of masked by brute force effort.
Brute force, yeah.
Right. So before they add anything new, a new software platform, a new marketing channel, a new product line, anything, they have to ask themselves some harsh questions about their current baseline.
Okay.
Are they consistently executing their core revenue-generating activities?
Consistently being the key word there. Not just doing lead generation when the pipeline is completely dry, but every single day.
Exactly. And furthermore, Is their follow-up system actually functioning, or are leads falling through the cracks because they just relied on their memory?
Right, sticky notes on the monitor.
Exactly. Is their calendar genuinely protecting their highest leverage time, or are they letting incoming emails and texts dictate their entire day?
Oh, that's a big one.
It's huge. And the notes are uncompromising here. If the answer to any of those questions is no, adding a new marketing channel is just going to generate more leads that you won't follow up with.
You're just paying for stress.
Exactly. You are adding noise to a system that is already overwhelmed.
But what happens when that solo operator finally hits their physical limit and decides to hire someone to take on the load?
Okay, yeah.
Because that transitions us to level 2, the mid-level business.
Right.
This is where a small team starts to form. And according to the notes, this is where the deadliest mistake on the board happens.
Yeah, the trap of the bad hire.
A bad hire.
The most common scaling mistake a mid-level business makes is hiring a person into a broken system and expecting the new hire to be the one to fix it.
Yes, the classic founder thought process. It's like, I'm disorganized, I'm dropping balls, so I will hire an operations manager to come in and organize me.
And it sounds logical on paper,
Right.
but mechanically, a broken system will always break the hire.
Wow. Always.
Always.
Mm.
If you take a highly competent professional, right, and you drop them into an environment where there is no documented onboarding,
0.
no standard operating procedures, and no clear structure for accountability, they cannot magically organize your company.
Because they have no foundation to stand on.
None.
Mm-hmm.
They will spend 80% of their day just trying to decipher the founder's brain.
Right.
I mean, the founder is giving instructions via voice memos while driving, changing
Yeah.
priorities daily,
Mhm.
managing by text message at 11 p.m.
A nightmare.
It is. The new hire simply absorbs that chaos and reflects it right back into the business.
And the tragedy is, the founder will look at this overwhelmed employee and think, wow, I made a terrible hire.
Yep.
This person is so slow and unorganized.
When the reality is, the hire was fine.
Right.
They are perfectly reflecting the chaotic environment they were dropped into.
So the fix at level 2 is entirely internal.
Yes.
You must optimize the system before you add the headcount.
Exactly.
You have to get your operational standards and accountability structures working flawlessly with the people you currently have before you add even one more salary to the payroll.
That's it. Which brings us to the final tier.
Okay, level 3, the larger organization.
Right. So if you survived the solo grind and the mid-level hiring traps, you might think you figured it out.
Sure, you've got a big team now.
Yeah, you have specialized departments and management layers. But the structural cracks at this level show up in a much more insidious way.
Because they don't necessarily show up in production, do they?
No, they don't.
Like, a large organization might still be hitting record top-line revenue, so everyone feels like they are winning.
Right. But top-line revenue at that scale can be a vanity metric.
Oh.
Where the cracks appear at level 3 is in the margin.
The margin.
The profit margin starts compressing. Because at this level, you're likely scaling processes that were never fully optimized back when you were a mid-level business.
Oh, wow. So the duct tape from 5 years ago is still holding the pipes together.
That's a great way to put it,
Yeah.
yes. And when you push massive volume through duct tape pipes, the leaks become catastrophic.
Right.
If you have a process that has a 5% inefficiency at the unit level, and you run 10,000 units through it, that 5% leak is now a multi-million-dollar operational hemorrhage.
So how does a CEO or an executive team actually run this audit at scale? Because that sounds overwhelming.
It is, but they have to apply the optimize versus scale lens to every major function of the enterprise independently.
Break it down.
Exactly. They have to look at the entire client experience journey,
Okay.
service delivery, leadership development. They have to strip away the comfort of that gross revenue and just ask,
The hard question.
yeah, is this specific department actually optimized to run flawlessly, or are we just throwing headcount and money at a clunky system and praying it holds together?
It is terrifyingly easy to mistake structural cracks for growing pains.
Oh, it really is.
You know, you see your profit margin slipping, you see employee turnover increasing, and the executive team just tells themselves, well, that's just the cost of doing business at this scale.
Right.
But the notes are telling us that it's absolutely not.
No.
It is the cost of unoptimized scale. It is the compounding tax you pay for skipping the proof stage and jumping straight to repeat.
Exactly. Which leaves us with the central challenge delivered by the source material. It's a gut check for anyone making decisions for a business right now.
So before you add anything new to your business this quarter,
Right.
Before you sign off on that new hire or launch that new product line, sign a lease in a new market, or implement a massive new software suite,
Any of it.
you have to sit down and be radically honest about your current baseline. Is what you already have actually optimized, or are you just scaling a problem? Are you
Yeah.
fixing the bicycle chassis, or are you reaching for the jet engine?
Because optimization removes the obstacles so the right things can work.
Right.
Scale is purely a multiplier. It has no brain, no judgment, and no bias.
It just multiplies what's there.
It will simply multiply whatever exists in your business today, whether that is streamlined excellence or chaotic dysfunction.
Right.
You cannot outrun a broken foundation.
Well said. To bring our Friday Fire mission home today, we want to leave you with a final thought experiment to mull over as you audit your own operations this week.
A good one.
It's a way to instantly test the true strength of the systems you've built.
Yeah.
Imagine you woke up tomorrow morning, and by some absolute miracle, your client base had magically doubled overnight. 100% instant growth. Based purely on the systems, the team, and the operations you have running right now, would that sudden growth double your bottom line profit? Or would it simply double your daily stress until the whole operation collapsed under its own weight?
A very revealing question that every leader should be able to answer.
Something to think about before you start attaching any jet engines. That is our Friday Fire deep dive for this week. Keep optimizing, keep refining, and we'll catch you on the next one.